Now, today we're going to be talking about leg day, one of my favorite days of the week. I hit it twice, and why you need to fuel up for legs. Now, we always talk about you do need to fuel up for your food, especially if you're trying to build muscle. So that's where your nutrition comes in. Making sure that you're having a good amount of protein in your meals, but more importantly, making sure that you have those carbohydrates or fat if it's your fuel source to make sure you have enough power to get through your workout. Me personally, I like to use glycogen and carbohydrates for my fuel source. So I make sure that I'm going to get majority of my carbohydrates pre and post workout. Now, of course, when your workout is in the day, that changes what that's going to be. But for me, I work out around between 10 and 11. I start between 10 and 11 every day. So I'm making sure that my 2 meals prior to that have enough carbohydrates to make sure I have fuel for the workout. But why would you need more fuel for a leg day? Now, first of all, think about it. Most of the muscles in your body are actually in your legs, especially the largest muscles. Now, you do have your lats, which is a really big muscle of your back. The thing is, even though you're working legs, many times the lat will still be engaged. Many times the core will be engaged. And if you're holding weight or holding a bar or something, upper body is still engaged. So that means when you're working legs, there's a really good chance you're actually working your entire body. Now, if you sit on a machine and do the leg extensions and the leg curls and the opens in and outs, and that's all you do, then it's a little bit different. But if you're actually doing compound movements, which are better for majority of people, we're talking squats, lunges, hinges, or deadlifts, anything that's using multiple joints and multiple muscles at the same time is going to use more fuel. And a leg day naturally is going to use more than one muscle and more than one joint. So you're going to need to fuel all of that. It's also been said that working leg day will help boost your testosterone because there's so much production that needs to go on in those muscles. But for everyone, instead of just talking about testosterone, let's just talk about energy consumption and fuel source. You're going to need much more fuel because you're going to burn off a lot more energy working those legs. I personally like to split my leg day up into 2 days of the week. One day is a quadricep focused day, and one day is a hamstring focused day. So I know that on those 2 days of the week, if you've ever heard of carb cycling, maybe one day we'll go over carb cycling with how to eat. But I make sure that the majority of my carbohydrates are on my heaviest and biggest muscle days. So that for me is going to be my back and my legs. Because when I do a hamstring day, a lot of the work I'm doing is posterior to the body. So that means a lot of my back is involved, even when I'm doing a quad day. So I really got to make sure I'm getting enough fuel to make sure I can get through the workout, but then also recover from the workout. So I'm fueling up pre-workout and I'm putting in carbohydrates post-workout to make sure I'm getting some glycogen back into the muscle. Very, very important. So real quick on carb cycling, if you were to carb cycle, meaning certain days of the week you're having a low amount of carbs, certain days of the week you're having a high amount of carbs, if you're working with this type of program, you want to have your higher carbs on your leg days and your back day. Your chest and shoulder days or arm days, those can be your limited carb days because you're not going to need as much fuel for that workout. Now, of course, if you're trying to trim, if you're trying to bulk, things are a little bit different. But if you're just trying to maintain where you're at, it's very important to understand how much fuel is going in, how you use it, and what it is you need to do for the rest of the meals of the day to make sure that you actually get the most of that muscle. The last thing you want to do is put in this huge, crazy workout on these big muscles and then not fuel the recovery process.